folks. So I thought I'd just record this so that you could see some of the background process that I do in setting up watercolors in these containers. These are just little Tupperware plastic containers that I found at a grocery store one day, and thought they are perfect for the way that I like to paint. But I need to do some housekeeping. I store them when they're all dry like this, but the last time I did this, I most definitely did not keep them by color family, so they're kind of all over the place. Plus, I don't know what needs to be replaced, and like what's empty. Like this one is empty altogether. I have some that are iridescent, so I need to have that set off to the side. But I kind of need to figure out what I have and what I don't have, so that I can make more if needed in that particular color family. Sometimes I end up with a little too much of a particular color or not enough. Like I use a lot of yellow, and I already know that my yellows are going to be somewhat limited. What is that? I realize that you may not be able to see this, but apparently neither can I. There's writing. Like reading that, I can barely read it. I can't really read it. I tend to write, here's one where you can potentially even read it. So, quinine burnt sienna. I will label them so that I know what the color is, what the actual color is. But I want to kind of get an idea of what I have and what I don't have, what I need to replace, as well as what did not fare well. Like you can see that this did not do very well. It's cracked and peeling. That can sometimes be a problem, and so I'm going to want to test that paint, and I'm going to want to test this one. I use this one a lot, and I am looking for the writing right now on it, and I can see that the writing has come off because I have used it and handled it so much. But this is just an incredible blue that I have just used and used and used. But the paint itself, because of the way I paint, it may be damaged. This is an incredible color. This is a Daniel Smith. They have a Sleeping Beauty turquoise. It is to die for. So I kind of get to geek out on my paint too. Did I write that on the bottom? I did not. I did. What was I thinking? Okay, that's spectacular. All right, so that's a purple. I may have to stack these so I can make room. That is a red. That's burnt scarlet. These are kind of those sienna burnt colors. The yellow and ochre. That is a very dark blue. Those are my blues. This is kind of a lighter blue. That's an iridescent color. Here comes some yellow. Oh, yeah. Here comes a yellow. Look at that. It's empty. Like, there's not even yellow in there. That's fantastic. Okay, so this one is a Duochrome color that I have basically just used all of it. So I need to clean that one out. I know I do not have another one, and call that one a day. So this is kind of a yellowish gold, so I'm going to put it there. Okay, so here's an example. This is a Duochrome. So when I mentioned Duocolor, can you see how it's kind of this green and gold color? That's what Duochrome. So this is Duochrome Desert Bloom. When I tell you that Daniel Smith has some incredible colors, I mean they have some incredible colors. Alright, so that one is also an iridescent. Here's another yellow. When I tell you I use all of my yellows like until they're gone. Here's another sienna color. I have a tendency to like those. Here we go. Here's a nice red. Here's another good red. This is kind of a brownish colored red, but it lets me know that I have some red choices. But this is kind of what I end up having to do. This is an iridescent scarab red, so again, I've got it labeled on the side there, so that I do my best to keep it that way. Oh, a magenta. Here we go. Something nice and bright. Here's a green. this is buff titanium, so this is kind of a white cream color, so that kind of gets its own thing. Here's yet another burnt sienna. For whatever reason, I seem to have a lot of those burnt sienna colors. Van Dyke biscuit, so that's a brown. Now I will tell you that when I do this, if I have not done a very good job, y'all, I do not have hardly any oranges out at all, so I need to go digging to see if I can find an orange. This is a yellow ochre, Spanish gold ochre. Every once in a while going through is just a really good idea. That's a red. This is kind of a quinine pink, so this is more falls under that magenta. Indian yellow, this is kind of a yellowish orange. I would probably put that with the yellow. And this is cadmium red scarlet, which goes more orange than red. So paying attention and knowing what colors you have available helps you, because you then know what you can paint. I keep them associated as best as possible by color family so that I can see what I have to work with. Now, one of the nicest things about doing this is, what are you? Cobalt Violet. So you're kind of a red purple. And then, okay, so this is a different, I even labeled the brand. This is kind of a slightly different one. It falls under that kind of matte appearance and color. Tiger's Eye. Okay, that's another great one. It's more of a brown. Fuchsia. Here we go. That can go there. Rose. That's going to go there. But going through and checking your paint is just good. Good maintenance in an art studio. Okay, so did I write this one on the bottom? No. Okay, so the name has come off. So now when the name comes off, you get to do a little investigating. So you kind of identify, what color is that? It's on the reddish pink side. So I'm going to drop it there. Again, you're kind of going by color family, so you have an idea. There's a violet. And then I have something written, but it's faded. And I can't read it. I can just see an H. So this is kind of a muddy color, but it's a little bit on the more purpley red side, so I'm going to drop it to the bottom. Alright, so I can see that I did in fact find some more yellows, but I need a nice bright yellow to grab, so I'm going to pull out some of my yellows, and I have a very limited selection of blues and greens, so that's going to be the other thing I'm going to head for is, ooh, I got a phthalo yellow green, so this is when I got to go digging. I'm going to set these back in by color family. I like to keep them separated by color family. Sometimes I don't have enough room in my little container, so they get kind of extra stacked. So like my yellows will go on top of my oranges. I don't have much in the way of this kind of brown variety, so I usually drop that under. For whatever reason, I have a ton of burnt sienna stuff. These are all of my iridescent, so I keep those together. But I am definitely in need of, I may need to get a second shoebox so I can separate these properly. Keeping things contained is important, especially when you have a small studio like I do. These are basically empty. Like, look at that. That's just pitiful. New gamboge. Okay. So what I'm going to do is pull out and see what I have, because some of these I may have filled up and then not filled all the way. Cadmium yellow deep. Be a nice bright. I need some nice bright yellows. I also need some So blues and greens. So let's see what I've got in terms of blues. I've got a green blue. This is literally where I get to go kind of shopping, if you will, into my container of looking for where are all of my blues. Oh, Cobalt Blue. Oh, Cobalt Blue is delightful. What is that? This is another blue. I can't read what it is. We'll grab some of the greens. There's another yellow. Apparently I liked yellow when I went shopping for paint. And just grabbed a ton and had a ton of yellow. Now I realize that this one looks more orange right here, but I want you to realize it's labeled Indian yellow. And I know I saw one of these that I had labeled as Indian yellow. And then this one I brilliantly labeled on the bottom. I now know not to do that. That was. And this one has something else written on it. It's something yellow. But I can't read what I put in the front. And then in. That's great. But this is kind of the, if you will, the less exciting side of painting, is getting everything set up. Sometimes that's half the battle. You don't get to do a ton of painting if you aren't set up to paint. If you're constantly looking for something, or where's this, or where is that? Oh wait, hold on. Lemon yellow. Lemon yellow! Y'all, I just got lucky as a bugger, okay? This says lemon yellow, but here's one of the downsides. Alright, I can already tell. So, this is unfortunate. So, since I haven't used these in a very long time, I had opened this and used it, and I want you to see what has happened. It dried out on the inside. This makes me so sad. Because I had opened it, it's dried up inside the tube, and basically I either have to cut open the tube if possible in order to remove what's inside so that I can put it in there, try to get it to liquefy so that I can use it. And you want to, when you use your paints, you want to make sure they're sealed very, very well. But you need to use them. When you set them off to the side the way I have, like I already know, like this one is open, that one is potentially not good, this one is potentially not good. Because I've opened it and attempted to tighten it and put the seal back on. So here I want you to see, like I can't, there's nothing coming out. Okay, it's because it's dried up inside there. It is one of the challenges. So when you are painting, make sure that you keep painting. Don't stop. And that's kind of what the challenge is going to be for me here to try to add some of these, is because I stopped painting, and as a result, some of my paints, they do go bad. Okay, well, and it's not that it went bad, it's just it dried out. Okay. Oh, and just so that y'all know, so I'm not telling y'all a bunch of fibs, in my last video I happened to mention that you can use gum arabic. And I want you to see where here on the side it will say, let me get my finger there. It says vehicle. Let's see if it'll show up. Vehicle gum arabic solution. Okay, so that's the binding agent for this. But that makes me very sad. I'm going to see if I can't crack open this. I want to see if I can crack this open to see if I can rescue it. Because this is like my absolute favorite watercolor brand. Oh, hold on. Oh. Oi. I might be able to rescue it. I might be able to rescue it. It would be such a shame if I can't rescue this, because this is just brilliant watercolor. And because I've sat here and squeezed and played. But can you see how like dry that is? I mean, just look at that. That is just pitiful. That is so sad that it has come to where it looks like that. I'm embarrassed, frankly. But anyway, this is the process that I kind of go through except usually they're not dried out like that. So let me show you one that's not quite so embarrassing. And I know I need a good green because I am out of green. This one is just a Viridian, Cobalt Green Deep, permanent green yellow, nope. I need an olive green, nope. I'm thinking this Viridian is going to be the best option. So I've got to get the lid off, and when these become a challenge to remove, you get a pair of pliers. So a good artist has a set of tools. Oh, there we go. A good artist has a set of tools that includes a pair of pliers so that you can unscrew lids. Usually I also not only have a very good pair of scissors, but I'll have a screwdriver, both a Phillips and a flathead, and a pair of pliers. And I try to get all of that I can out of these tubes because this is really good paint and I don't want to leave anything behind. So what I've done is I have just squeezed this tube until I am not sure I can get anything else out. There we go. And it sits like that, and it's just this, it's liquid, well, sort of liquid, and there, and then that will dry out, and that's going to give me a beautiful green to add. And then I am finished with this tube and can set it off to the side. So I'm about to go wrestle with this one to see if I can get that to rescue it, so that I can continue to use that great color. And I hope that this helps you see, like, these are basically pans that I'm creating. You can do that as well. You can also get a tray where you can keep smaller quantities, but when you choose to do smaller quantities, be mindful, you want to make sure you get that lid on there really, really tight. Y'all have a great day. I look forward to seeing you in another video.